No one was injured. At 11:45 a.m. in Kawasaki, smoke had subsided early, but now it's rising again. The monorail is running in front of the fire. Shortly after 11:30 this morning, a fire broke out at a warehouse at Nippon Steel and Tsurugi Pipe Company in Kawasaki. This footage was taken from nearby Haneda Airport just after the fire broke out. White smoke was rising from the building. Quickly turned black and began spewing out. The flames could also be seen. Police say the warehouse was being dismantled. Workers were trying to cut the cooling device with a gas burner when oil and other substances remaining in the device caught fire. In Sagamihara, blast roared and sparks scattered in a residential area in the dark hours this morning. There was an explosion at a warehouse at the U.S. Army Sagami General Depot at about 45 minutes past midnight. Neighbors says a loud roaring sound could be heard. U.S. military spokesperson said there were cylinders containing compressed nitrogen and other gases in the warehouse. U.S. forces will investigate the cause of the accident in accordance with the U.S. Status and Forces Agreement.
Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has said he will not attend an event in China to mark the 70th anniversary of what China calls its victory over Japan in World War II. He was speaking at today's session of the Upper House Budget Committee. Abe says he decided not to attend the event scheduled for September 3rd. He says he made the decision in view of the ongoing Diet deliberations. He indicated his hopes to hold talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping at such occasions as international conferences. Abe says he will continue to explore opportunities for top leaders of China and Japan to speak frankly on the sidelines of international conferences. He says he hopes to work together for the further development of bilateral relations. More than 24 hours of high-level talks between North and South Korea have yet to produce an agreement. In the talks, South Korea is demanding an apology from North Korea for a mine explosion on the south side of the demilitarized zone. North Korea is demanding the South Korean military stop the propaganda broadcasts it resumed recently. As the talks stretch out, many of the North's submarines departed from port in an apparent act of provocation. South Korea countered the move by hinting at a new deployment of arms from U.S. forces. The hardline stance of both sides is raising tensions in the peninsula. A spokesperson for the South Korean Defense Ministry says it's important to keep the North's provocation in check through coordinated action with the U.S. forces.
Global stock markets are taking a nosedive. Following a plunge on Wall Street last Friday, stock markets in Tokyo, Shanghai and major European cities have opened the week sharply lower. The Nikkei average index on the Tokyo Stock Exchange lost nearly 900 points today, closing at 18,540. This man says the fall is just a little too big. The person says she prays the prices will stop falling any further. Another person says the movement on the market seems to have nothing to do with the real economy, so it looks like a money game. Downturn will probably just be a temporary thing. Shares were sold almost across the board from the start of trading in Tokyo this morning. The Nikkei index temporarily lost more than 930 points during afternoon trading. The index ended the day at 18,540, down 895 points from Friday's close. That was the biggest one-day loss in 2 years and 3 months. The recent fall in global share prices is being fueled by fears of a Chinese economic slowdown. On August 11th, China's central bank abruptly lowered its reference rate yuan against the US dollar. Market players took the bank's decision as the clearest sign yet of the Chinese economic slowdown. In the Shanghai market today, shares were sold across the board, sending the benchmark composite index down more than 8%. Stock markets in Europe opened for the week sharply lower this evening Japan time. At 8:30 p.m. Japan time, the key indices in the markets in Paris, Frankfurt and London were all down by more than 3% from Friday's close. Dave Kamano is chief economist with Daiichi Life Research Institute, who says another factor that's contributed to the downturn of the market is the US monetary policy. He says China has triggered the ongoing fall in global stock prices, but concerns over US monetary policy have been an underlying factor. He says market players have been speculating the Fed may end its zero interest rate policy soon, maybe in September, as the US economy has been picking up lately. Market players were wondering whether a tighter US monetary policy might put a drag on the global economy. Then they saw signs of deterioration in China's economy. Their anxieties about the prospect of the global economy have risen sharply. We asked what governments around the world can do to help calm anxieties in the markets. Mano says China has already taken monetary easing measures in response to a plunge in the Shanghai market, and it could do more in that regard. China might also decide to introduce a major fiscal policy like the 4 trillion yuan program introduced before. He says if the United States decides to keep its zero interest rate policy in place for some years, that will be reassuring to market investors. He says if the Bank of Japan decides to take further monetary easing measures, that will help lift the pessimism in the market.
Stock prices at the New York Stock Exchange will be watched closely when trading begins there at 10:30 tonight Japan time.
A car rammed into a group of beachgoers in Hayama Town, Kanagawa Prefecture yesterday. One person was killed, another remains unconscious, and a third has serious injuries. At least one witness saw the speeding car miss a curve and strike the 3 victims. Police also found evidence that the driver slammed on the brakes. A 20-year-old man who lives near the site has been arrested on suspicion of hit and run. Police believe the suspect was driving well over the speed limit of 40 kilometers an hour at the time.
Russia's Deputy Prime Minister has urged Japanese government officials to commit harikiri, or ritual suicide, instead of complaining about Russia's control of islands off Hokkaido. Japan is protesting Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev's visit to a Tohoku island on Saturday. Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Rogozin posted on Twitter, if the officials are real men, they should commit harikiri in line with Japanese tradition. Rogozin is in charge of military affairs in the Russian cabinet. Observers say the comment by a key minister could negatively affect Japan-Russia relations.
Now the weather. The 15th and 16th typhoons of the year are moving near Japan. As we have been reporting, typhoon number 15 brought fierce winds to Ishigaki Island yesterday evening. The red shows intense winds, and winds are particularly strong on the east side of the typhoon. And the typhoon will maintain its force and move very close to Kyushu tomorrow. Let's look at where the typhoon is located now. In the storm zone is part of Amami Oshima. and Kagoshima Prefecture is also in the strong wind zone. And maximum winds near the center of the typhoon is about 180 kilometers per hour. And maintaining force, the typhoon will move along the west of Kyushu and may make a landfall. And tomorrow afternoon, it will move towards the Japan Sea. Let's look at how the winds will develop. Strong winds are expected in Kyushu, where the typhoon will approach. And the winds will be at their strongest tomorrow morning. And evening and in the nighttime, there will be strong winds in Kinki region as well. And maximum winds, instantaneous wind speeds in Kyushu will be around 215 kilometers per hour. Such winds are capable of uprooting and knocking over large trees, and power outages may also occur. Caution is required for heavy rains as well. The rain clouds associated with the typhoon will move to Kyushu, and at 3 a.m. around then the rain will peak in Kyushu, and after that there will be active rain clouds in Chugoku and Shikoku. The rain clouds will move on, and in the evening onwards there will be heavy rains in the Kinki region as well. Rainfall is expected total 400 millimeters in Shikoku and 250 millimeters in Kyushu, Kinki, and Tokai. Waves will be high over a wide area. In southern Kyushu, waves will be more than 10 meters high, and along the Pacific coast between Kanto and northern Japan, there will be stormy conditions out at sea.
The regional forecast: Kyushu, Okinawa, Chugoku, and Shikoku. The rain will peak in Kyushu overnight. It will peak in Shikoku from early in the morning to late in the afternoon. Some areas of Chugoku may have extremely heavy rain around noon. It may rain fiercely in some places. Overnight lows will be 25 degrees or lower in the morning in many areas. The daytime highs will also be 30 degrees or lower in many regions. It will be as warm as early to mid-September. Kansai, Tokai, and Hokuriku. Southern Kansai will have extremely heavy downpours in the afternoon. Tokai will have heavy downpours late in the afternoon. Many areas in Hokuriku will have rain also in the afternoon. Overnight lows will be 25 degrees or less in many places. The daytime highs will be 30 or lower. The daytime highs in Kansai and Tokai will be 3 degrees lower than today. It will be as warm as mid-September. Kanto, Koshinetsu, and Shizuoka clouds will cover the skies. It will rain on and off in many places starting late in the afternoon. Overnight lows and daytime highs will be lower than today in many areas. Overnight lows will be 23 degrees or lower. The daytime highs will be 26 in Tokyo and 27 in Niigata. It will be as warm as in mid-September. Tohoku and Hokkaido. Clouds will spread and it may rain in some areas of southern Tohoku.